What's up guys, I'm Vocal Strike and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Final Fantasy IX. Oh boy, this one's a big one. Oh, this one's a big one. So, nope, that actually does require spoilers. That actually does have spoilers. So, why did I choose this one? Well, it's going to be in league with the other LP that should be out alongside this one already. And I just thought it would be a fairly neat matchup. Nope. Plus, I have done a practice playthrough of this, which also makes this my very first Final Fantasy game I actually finished. And this is going to be 100% completion. This is going to be a very much a proper walkthrough type of game. I'm hoping to get certain details of this LP also kind of done. But enough about that. Let's begin Final Fantasy IX. Sure is dark. Guess nobody's here yet. Basic controls. Box standard. It also should be noted that I am playing the PS4 version on PS5. You can see I did get some trophies, but this is also a trophy that this is also a game that there is just no way I'm gonna get the platinum on, and I will explain that why. I will explain why much later. But yeah, no, box standard controls. Cross button to confirm a talk, circle to cancel dash, triangle, yada yada yada. The thing is that since this was originally released on PS1, the two control sticks, the twin analog sticks that we have nowadays, wasn't really a thing yet. So most games for the PS1 wasn't really programmed with those built in, even though some of them may have support. Most games like this one wasn't really programmed with them in mind. So I will be using the D-pad for movement. And right off the bat, there is definitely some settings. And the reason why that the menu is gray is purely because of it being the remaster. No! So I'm gonna switch the ATB to active. Movement to always run. The normal is what the remaster is, and that's why it's gray. However, I kinda like the classic. This is what the menu normally would look like on PS1. They also give you access to tutorials and whatnot. And on the remaster, they give you access to booster cheats. And these cannot be these cannot be turned off at all once they are activated. So, for these you have master abilities. We'll get into abilities later. Level and magic stone max. Very much self-explanatory. Maxes out your levels and max out how many magic stones you can have, which are also tied to abilities, but again, we'll get into those later. And master abilities, again, speaks for itself. They allow you to master all abilities. Again, we'll be getting into those later. And Gil Max. Gil is, of course, the currency of the Final Fantasy franchise. And it does exactly what it says on the tin. It maxes out your Gil. It maxes out your money. I will not be turning these on at all. Now, with that said, if we pause, you'll see on the bottom right corner of the screen, L1 battle assistance, L2 9999, R1 high speed mode, R2 safe travel. This was still back in the day when Final Fantasy was still very much a turn-based JRPG and random encounters were still very much a thing. These are basically cheats for the remaster version that you can toggle on and off at any time. L1 Battle Assistance gives you permanent trance. We'll be covering that later. 9999 makes it so that all damage you deal, no matter what your level, equipment, or anything else is, your damage will always be 9,999, which is the max damage in this game. High speed mode is basically the turbo feature of every single emulator out there. And safe travel turns off all random encounters in the game, where the only fights you would have to do are the bosses. You know, the required fights, the scripted ones. Coffee. Battle Assistance and 9999, I'm not going to turn on throughout this playthrough, except for maybe one somewhat luck-based boss. We'll cover him much, much later. But if you've played this game, you probably know which boss I'm talking about. And safe travel and high speed mode are really only going to be turned on for like the backtracking segments. With nothing to really explore in this room, let's light the candles. Who's there? So, here we get to name our protagonist. His default name is Zidane, but you can name him whatever you want. And this was still back in the day when you can name all of your party members. But we will be using the default canon names. So, it's Zidane for our protagonist. A tailed human, male gender, 16 years old, and is right-handed. It's me, Zidane. Hey Zidane, you sure are late. Sorry, so where's the boss? Ain't here yet. And we're thrown right into our first boss. This is the Masked Man. And of course, box standard combat. If you've played any turn-based RPG ever, you basically already know how to do this. However, this was back when the active time battle feature was still a thing. Also, on screen should be stats for every single enemy. Oh, nice. We already got 2 of the 3 steals. So, this guy's a joke. This guy's a complete joke. There are times where he's going to waste his turn like that. His damage is minimal. And we're basically going to be stealing a lot in this game. And I do mean a lot. But this guy has 2 pieces of equipment we actually do want. So we're going to keep stealing. There we go. So now we can just kick his butt. Don't bother trying to heal up everybody. The only important one is Zidane. And if you lose to this fight, then just stop playing now. It's only going to get harder from here. Usually Cena is the one that ends up being the one to kind of go down first. Grah! Ow, my head! Go easy, you guys! Portion to restore HP. So hopefully on the screen during that fight, there were stats catered to them. They're going to show up for every new enemy and boss, ideally, that we encounter. It will show their HP, their MP, their level, what drops they have, if any, card drops, what type they are, what steals they have. Literally everything you need to know. However, this is very much... It's something I have never really done before, so I'm really hoping to get this to work and have it look good and organized and everything. So... we'll see. If you don't see the stat block, if you did not see any stats during that fight, then it just simply meant I could not really get them to work, or like I just wasn't satisfied with how they looked, that I just decided to give up and scrap it. Hey, fools. You're looking a lot better. It should also be noted, I've never played the original PS1 version, so I honestly don't know some of the differences that they made. I assume that these pause menu cheats and the max skill, max mastered abilities, and max level and magic stones cheats were not in the original. Also, for autos, this game also does have an autosave feature that I assume wasn't really in the original. For those who have probably played the original, feel free to let me know. Alright, let's start this meeting already. Because the autosave literally kicks in. Like, your game will automatically save every time you enter a new room or new area. Here's the plan. Tantalus, the infamous band of daring thieves, that's us, is heading to the kingdom of Alexandria. Our mission? To kidnap the heir to the throne, Princess Garnet. I'll take it from here, so listen up. Our ship's about to dock at Alexandria. And when it does, we're gonna put on our costumes. And perform I Want to Be Your Canary, the most popular play in Alexandria. Break a leg, Marcus, cause you're playing the lead. Leave the acting to me. Of course, the real kidnappers will be Blank and Zidane. I'll distract the audience from backstage with these little buggers. I can't stand Oglops. Oglops are basically the cockroaches of Final Fantasy IX. But I'll manage, so don't worry about me. Everybody hates them. Absolutely everybody hates them. Can't stand them. They're seen as pests, and they just should be crushed. And that'll be your cue, Zidane. Now, of course, there are choices, but of course these are dialogue choices that don't really ultimately matter for the main story. So we're basically gonna... The choices I would be making would probably be the ones that I would honestly be saying, or that I would personally choose. And, well, our plan is to kidnap the princess, so that's when I kidnap Princess Garnet, right? You bet. You're gonna kidnap the most babelicious beauty in all of Alexandria, Princess Garnet. Ow. Alexandria. Are you alright? Here, you dropped your ticket. Bye-bye. Okay, we have another character now, immediately. So, The thing is about items is that they are shared across everybody, no matter where they are. So there are going to be times where we will be... there are going to be times where the party is going to be split up, and no matter what, you will have access to every single item you have grabbed. As well as any equipment that hasn't been equipped to the others. We even get key items, and this game also loves key items that ultimately does nothing. And has, like, no purpose. However, you can press the cross button for your key items to get little bits of dialogue like this, like just a little bit of flavor text. Ticket. Come see the all-time classic love story, I Want to Be Your Crow. A tragic tale of destiny, cursed memories, dreams, life, and death. Huh. I thought the play was called I Want to Be Your Canary. Probably just a typo. Or maybe it, oops. Or maybe it's... So what do we got? Mage staff, leather hat, and a leather shirt. So yeah, even though Zidane did steal this, this character can equip it. Despite the fact not being there. Which is nice. Which is very nice. I'm not going to equip that on him right now. But, before we actually move on to that, let's go back here for some more stuff. I won't be talking to everybody because if I did, we would be here for literal hours. Heroine statue. This statue was built to commemorate General Madeline, who fought in the 9th Lindblom War in 1389. At the tender age of 13, General Madeline fought against the Lindblom army with only 9 soldiers under her command. She died in 1401, well before her time. 9th Lindblom War? So like what? Alexandria and Lindblom have been at war 8 prior times? Jesus. So, there are, of course, hidden items. If I can... Ah, here it is. A potion. Very nice. And I believe if we go over here... Examine this, we get a Sahajin card. We go down here, I believe, and we get a zombie card. And I don't think there's anything else here. I could be wrong. I want to say there is, though. Oh, there we go. Lizard Man card. Now, these cards are for a minigame we are going to be getting into a little bit later. But just know, we're not going to be getting every single card. We're not even going to actively take part in this minigame. Like I did on the personal playthrough, you ultimately don't even get anything. There's not even really an achievement for the PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam versions. Or I should say PS4, Xbox, and Steam versions of this game. And I don't know if your collector level goes up the more cards you're allowed to carry, but on my practice run, which was also my personal playthrough, the amount of cards in my stock capped at 100, And, well, I did the math, so like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 columns. So 10 times 10 is... Actually, no. 10 times 10 is 100. So yeah, you can actually get every single card. I think on the personal playthrough, I horribly miscounted and said 10 times 10 is 1,000, but me and math do not get along when 10 times 10 is 100. So you can get every single card if you actively play the minigame, as well as get every card you can from, like, maybe completing side quests, winning against certain players, and... as well as, like, finding them hidden all throughout the world, etc. Again, it's not worth it. You get nothing for it. No achievement, no reward, nothing. And I believe that is everything. Let me double check my notes. Okay, yep, that is everything here. So now we're gonna move on. And there is supposed... Ah, here we go. We get another potion. Then we want to enter this house. And we examine the bed. And we found Grandma's savings of 9 gil. Free money! I'm sure she won't need it. Then we want to check here for a potion. And then climb up the stairs, examine the dresser for a Fang card. I will at least be getting the cards that you get from maybe completing certain side quests, as well as the ones that are hidden that you find throughout the world. In case you actually do want to collect those, I will not be pointing out the ones that you win through certain opponents. Because again, it's just not worth it. Ow! Why, you get out of my way! Then let's see. It should be... Ah! Oh. We get another potion. And that's it for this area. Honorable Nobles of Treno, Castle Alexandria is this way. And of course, these hidden items are everywhere. Got 33 gil by examining there. On the opposite side, we get a goblin card. Then we want to enter this building, and there should be stuff to find. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. We received a potion. Now, of course, the exclamation point means we can talk to him. The other icon is tied to the card game minigame I mentioned. Again, we'll be covering that a little bit later. Let's see, it's... Here we go. We get a flan card. We check here for 27 gil. Of course, we can talk to the people here if we want to. I gotta get back to work. We'll sure be busy tonight. But it'll also be the last time we'll be so busy. Oh, is this place closing up soon? I don't know why I'm depressed. I have a ticket to see a great show. I should be happy. And now that we've gotten everything here... Wow, nobles are so spiffy. We can move on to the next place. This screen really has nothing. There is an item shop here if you want to buy something, but... Good afternoon. But now it's not... But... Blah, 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 blah. But honestly, none of that's really worth it right now. We move on to here, and there is some stuff we could do. Oh, wait, no. No. I just double-checked notes. So, yeah, little moments of pause does kind of mean that I am double-checking, like, notes and everything. And, yeah, there is actually something here. 38 gil. Huh. You don't really care, buddy? Well, mine now. Run. And this is the square. So, there is a mini game we can do here. And we get a little scene. What do you mean there's no vacancies? Yes, you see, really quite sorry. What? I don't believe this. I have a reservation, damn it. Jeez. Yikes. City people sure are scary. City people are so scary. Excuse me. So yeah, no vacancies. And there's actually a hidden person here. Busy, busy, busy. Pardon me, sir. Out of my way, please. And the minigame we can play is this one. You want to try? So, you basically want to press the cross button as that exclamation point shows up over our character's head. If you make 1,000 jumps without tripping, you get a key item, which I think is called like the Jump Rope Master or something. It's a key item that ultimately does nothing. And like I said, this game is filled with them, with key items that just does nothing. And it's just kind of to show off that you've done it. You get nothing for doing this otherwise. But if you're playing on... Yeah, see, I struggle to get 2. But if you're playing this on, like, the PS4, Xbox, or Steam versions, there are achievements tied to this one. One for gain, I believe, 100 jumps without tripping, and one for gain 1,000 jumps without tripping. As you can see, I just tripped. You trip even once, you have to start all over again. A bit unreasonable, especially since I struggle to get 2. So this is actually one of the reasons why there's just no way I'm ever going to get the Platinum Trophy for this game. I believe it does again. And again, don't even bother. It's not worth it in the end. There is a weapon and synthesis shop here, but they are both closed right now due to the show. Like, here's the weapon shop. I keep telling my son we'll go out of business if he never comes home. Which sword to buy? I wish I had a little more money. And connected to it, over here, is the synthesis shop. I'm taking my wife to the theater tonight, so we shall close soon. So, yeah, because of the show, I Want to Be Your Canary, the synthesis and weapon shops are closed, but the item shop isn't for some reason. Even though there's, like, no hard fights at this point in the game. But it's also the beginning of the game, so... However, over at the synthesis shop... Ah, here we go. We get an ether. And in the weapon shop, if we examine near the... Ah, damn it. This one... Careful. There we go. Examine over here, we get a remedy, which is a rare item that you're not going to be able to buy anywhere else. And it's really nice to have. So, also on this menu, if you press the touchpad on the PlayStation, I'm not sure what the buttons are for the others. You get a little Moogle that's also a bit of a help icon. That's a bit of a help thing that tells you what what certain abilities do, as well as what items do. This is basically the closest thing you're ever going to get to a description. So, like, the potion restores 150 HP, but the effect decreases if used in the field. So you actually heal less if you use your healing items outside of battle. High Potion is literally the same thing, but better. Phoenix Down cures KO. It basically revives a party member. There is some inconsistencies with Phoenix Downs in the Final Fantasy universe. And this even sparked like some controversy with, oh, why didn't the party member just use the Phoenix Down to revive Aerith in Final Fantasy VII? Spoilers for Final Fantasy VII. Well, the actual in-universe reason, and I believe even the Phoenix Downs description in Final Fantasy VII even supports this, that Phoenix Downs don't revive people from death, they revive from knockout. So, with the exception of the enemy just straight up dying, your party members never really die, they're just knocked out. And the Phoenix Down is supposed to get them back on their feet. Ethers are literally the same thing, but they heal MP instead of HP. Remedies cure various status ailments. However, there are some status ailments that it can't cure. Phoenix Pinions are literally the same as Phoenix Downs, but they can only be used in battle. We're never going to use these, and I will explain why later. And of course, you even get descriptions on equipment as well. Tent restores HP and MP. If you ask a save Moogle, he'll restore everyone's HP and MP. So the game can only be saved with a Moogle. I believe it is only the I assume it's only the remaster that has the autosaves where it just automatically saves every time you enter a new room or a new area. Whereas the PS1 version didn't do that. And this was still back in the day when just saving anywhere just wasn't much of a thing. But what this actually does is that it restores half of your max HP and max MP for all active party members. So if you're actually hurt bad enough, you can use this to kind of bandage yourself up a bit if you're at a save Moogle. But it may not fully heal you always, because you're past the limit. Mage Masher, weapon originally used for combating mages. Add status Silence. Add status is an ability, we'll cover abilities later. And a regular wristlet, which has no extra abilities tied to it. So, yeah, some weapons and equipment actually does have, there's even, like, stuff here Like, he literally stays until you press the touchpad again. But yeah, some equipment actually does have, like, extra benefits to them, rather than just stats or learning abilities. Staff used by black mages, not a suitable item to wear in combat. Clothes made of leather. So yeah, we don't really have anything that we don't really have anything that has like any other extra stuff tied to it other than the mage measure. And we are going to want to talk to this hippo. Hippo! Wahahaha! I hid my 3 precious cards in a safe place. Now, we want to head over here for now. And we're going to be moving on. And here... we are going to want... okay, she's gone. So now we want to get inside very quickly because she's blocking these stairs here. So we go up and there's some hidden stuff here. This is your only chance to get them. If you don't get them now, you will miss your chance and they'll be unobtainable. 3 gil. Literal pennies, but nothing else. And... oh. Some eye drops. The eye drops you can get whenever. It's just that the girl is only blocking the upstairs here, like standing right here, and you cannot get past her. Which is why you gotta wait for her to leave. So the eye drops... I will be pressing out loud. I like organization. Cures the darkness status effect. What that does is that it lowers your accuracy. We don't have to worry about that at the moment. Get through the door. Sometimes the movement doesn't really feel all that great. Also, whenever I'm not moving right away, it's because I am looking over at notes to make sure I'm not missing anything. It's up here. My kitten Mittens ran away. Tell me if you see him, okay? Sure. Thanks. So, lost cat. That is a side quest that we are going to be covering while we're here. But if we enter this steeple and then examine this wall, we get a potion. And if we go over to the opposite side, somewhere, oh, here it is, we get a tent. Now, for talking to Hipal back at the square, we climb up this ladder and you find a rope. We're going to pull it. And we get the Iron Knight card, the Goblin card, and a Fang card. This would not be here if you did not talk to Hipal. This is also your only chance to get it. So if you're looking to get every card, do this now. Now, we are going to be backtracking over to where the entrance plaza is, because that's where Mittens is. I will see you over there, hopefully. And then we want to talk to this cat. Meow. Oh, you found him. Come here. Thanks. And we didn't get anything for that right away. So So I believe what we have to do now is talk to him again. And then we should be getting rewarded? Thanks. Here, this is for you. And we get a bomb card. Now, we can finally progress. So we're going to be returning to the square, and we're going to want to talk. We're going to want to peek into the ticket booth. After all, we have a ticket. Can I help you, son? What's showing today? This year's performance is a masterpiece. I want to be your canary. The Tantalus Company is performing. What kind of troupe is Tantalus? They're star performers from Limblum, the Regency to the west, with accompaniment of Lav Leders. What's I Want to Be Your Canary about? This play is a tale of romance between a noble and a peasant. You really must see it. Tell me about Alexandria. The King of Alexandria is a fine country. The Kingdom of Alexandria is a fine country ruled by Queen Braun. Who's Queen Braun? Did you know Queen Braun has a beautiful daughter, Princess Garnet? Tell me about Queen Braun. Unfortunately, I've heard strange things about Queen Braun recently. Who's Princess Garnet? Today is Princess Garnet's 16th birthday, you know. Tell me about Princess Garnet. Her Highness is a beautiful princess, and everyone in Alexandria loves her. Is Princess Garnet really that pretty? Why, she's the most beautiful princess in the history of Alexandria. Show ticket. What's this? There's something odd about this ticket. Why, it's another fake! I've seen so many today. No. Womp womp. So, yeah, our little buddy here probably got scammed into this ticket. No, don't cry. I know how you must feel. Here, I'll give you these. Do try to cheer up now, We get a goblin card, a fang card, and a skeleton card. Talk to Alleyway Jack to learn more about cards. Good luck, lad. Well, that was fruitless. Now, what to do now? Well, we go through the alleyway again. Ugh. Blast it. Hey, you made me miss, you little klutz. Phew. That should do it. Well, it's been a long day. You're not gonna take your ladder, dude? Hey you, shrimp. You're the one with the phony ticket, ain't ya? Double checking notes again. Yeah, because I vaguely remember there was also something else here, but there isn't. I saw the guy tell you it was fake. Yeah, it's fake. I'll let you see the show if you become my slave. Well, what do you say? Alright. Awesome. Now for your first assignment. You go stand over there and see if anyone's coming. All clear? Yeah, it's clear. Awesome. Engage according to mission parameters. Okay, now we're gonna want to talk to this guy. Excuse me, but is your name Alleyway Jack? Huh? did you know my name? If you know who I am, you probably want to challenge me to a card game, huh? What? You don't know how to play? And you want me to teach you? Well, why not? I finished one job already. Follow me, kid. We'll start with the basics. You need 5 cards to play the card game. To play a game, approach someone and press the square button. That's what that other icon over like certain NPCs' heads were. Some people may not be interested. In that case, move on to someone else. How can you tell that they're not interested? Well, you don't see the card icon over their head. How does the card game proceed? Let's talk about how to actually play the game. You take turns placing your cards on a 4x4 grid with your opponent. Sometimes your opponent's card flips. That's because of the yellow arrows on the corners on the sides of the cards. If your arrow is facing the direction of your opponent's card, that card becomes yours. But if your opponent's card is an arrow facing yours, a card battle begins. What's a card battle? When several arrows face each other, multiple card battles may occur. You can choose where to begin the card battle when that happens. Where you choose to begin the battle affects how the rest of the battles play out. Let's see. You can also use combos. What's a combo? Okay, I'll teach you the technical stuff now. You gotta be careful during a card battle. If your card wins against the opponent's card, all the cards facing that card's arrows are yours. That's called a combo. It's a double-edged sword because the same thing happens to you if your card loses against your opponent's card. Try to play a perfect game. What's a perfect? What is a perfect game, you ask? You get one of your opponent's cards when you win. If you flip over all your opponent's cards and play a perfect game, you can take all of them. Reach for the highest collector's levels. What's a collector's level? Let me tell you about collector's levels. Check your menu and go to the section entitled Card. You can check your collector's level there. You level up as you collect more cards. Even I don't know what the highest collector's level is. Can we try a game? Let's play. This game is Tetramaster. This is basically the result of the success of the beloved Final Fantasy VIII card game. So I have 5 cards to play. There are numbers and letters on the card. This basically tells you how strong the card is, but it's all very technical. Again, I never really bothered. And yeah, sometimes there's even cards that don't have arrows. There's also a bit more RNG tied to this one. So we gotta choose 5 cards from our collection. Let's use you. You. Sure, let's use 2 of them. Let's use a skeleton and a lizard man. Tetramaster rules. Place a card next to your opponent's cards. If the arrows on your card are facing your opponent's card, you have the chance to capture it. And there's the RNG aspect of it. This is why no one ever really plays Tetramaster, is because while I do think this game has some potential, there is definitely some RNG aspects behind the game. That is not great. The game ends once all cards are in play. The player who captures the most cards is the winner. Damn it. Yeah, I lost this one. Oh no, it's a draw. So if it's a draw, you get to play a rematch. However, if you lose, one of your cards gets stolen. Gets like taken out of your collection and added to your opponent's. If you win, you get to choose one card that you have captured in the game to take and add to your collection. If you get a perfect game like he says, you take every single card that your opponent has offered up. So there's a risk-reward system. I think I understand. This is the only town where I'm called Alleyway Jack. I go by other names elsewhere. They're also just aliases, of course. You want to know my real name? I'll tell you when you get better. Thank you. We will be seeing this guy again. Assuming it's the same person. At least I assume it's the same person. Regardless, even if it's not the same person, we will be seeing his kind again. So now we want to move forward, and we are going to be heading to the steeple. Over here. Don't fall behind. Into the steeple. Now, we're going to climb up this tower. It's very dangerous. You go first. Okay. Ow! What the heck was that? Sorry about that, Kupo. That's Kupo. He's a Moogle. Kupo! And this is slave number 1. Try to get along, okay? Kupo! Pleased to meet you. I'm sorry. I enter you in Moogle Diary. If you want to save game, just make us Moogle. Just ask us Moogles, Kupo. And you can regain health if you have a tent, Kupo. You understand? I understand. Glad I can help, Kupo. Alright, time for some upward mobility. Okay, come on up, slave. Kupo, you here? Kupo, Stiltskin. Why that get up? You leaving, Kupo? Yeah, and this time I might be away for a long time. I'll miss you, Kupo. Now, don't you worry, I'll write. Okay, Kupo. Well, I'm off. Take care. Oh, and say hi to Mosh in the castle for me. We'll be seeing him a lot. Was that a friend of yours? Yes, Kupo. A very special one, Kupo. Hey, slave, I thought I ordered you up here. Let's talk to Kupo. Time to make record already, Kupo. And first thing we want to do is ask about the magnet. Kupo, I'll tell you about Magnet. Magnet is a mail delivery system between Moogles. We can send and receive letters to and from Moogles in other locations. Boop. But delivery has been very sporadic lately. So I want you to help us deliver mail. Boop. Will you help us? Sure. I have a favor to ask. Boop. I want you to deliver a letter to Monty. Whenever we get a chance to go over to Magnet, we will be clicking on that and making sure that we have a letter to deliver. Thanks, Koopa. So every time you click on every time you access Magnet, you do everything like, read the letter, whatever, you're bumped back to its main menu. So click Magnet again and make sure you get something like, I want mail, Koopa. Like, get dialogue like this to where it forces you back. This ensures that you have gotten everything for that. You've gotten any letter at all, you've delivered, you've read all the letters, everything. But we're gonna save. Let's save. Go boom. And next time on Final Fantasy IX, we are going to be sneaking into the show and possibly see I Want to Be Your Canary. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you can stay up to date on all my videos. And please do consider supporting me on Patreon, Pixel Fanbox, and Subscribestar. It really does help me out. You'll be supporting me in the channel and I'll be able to make more content for you guys. Links are down in the description as always. Go ahead and follow me all on socials. Again, link to all of that is also down in the description on my link tree. And honestly, the support really helps me out. It's really nice to get back into Let's Playing again after my extended vacation, after I wasn't able to go to Chaosium Con anymore. Oh well. I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.